I'm so sorry. I sound like a train wreck. A buddy of mine came over, a Marine Corps buddy of mine, and he introduced me to things I didn't know existed. First of
Mhm.
all, did you know that alcohol could taste like cereal? Did you know that? I didn't know that.
You had all the colors of crayons last night, didn't you?
Jesus Christ! You mentioned that, but the first drink he introduced me to tasted like cinnamon toast crunch. Right? I didn't think it was possible. He goes, "No, it tastes just like cinnamon toast crunch. You can't even taste the alcohol." I'm like, "It's not a thing." And
That's the beauty
sh-
of good alcohol and things that taste good. Alcohol that tastes
yeah,
bad is not worth drinking.
and it was Fireball and some like it was a rum, but it was creamy. It was something like that, and then sure enough, it tasted like that. And then after that came, hence the crayons, Fruity Pebbles.
All the flavors of crayons. I
Yeah,
knew
one
it.
that tastes like Fruity Pebbles, one that tastes like Tricks, one that there was one that tastes like what's that peanut butter with the peanut butter balls in it?
Like the isn't that just like Reese's peanut butter or
I think
something cereal?
yeah, Reese's peanut butter syrup. It's just and the thing about it is that like it takes a lot to get me wasted, right? So I didn't get a buzz last night at all. I mean, well, I might have had a small buzz, but the problem that I'm currently facing,
Went straight to blackout.
no. I remember every minute last night. The problem is I made a rookie mistake because I only drink once or twice a year, right? Is I mix alcohols because all these different things. Like one of them used the tequila, one used the rum, another one used the whiskey, and it's just like he wanted me to try all these different drinks, and I'm just like, cool. And now I feel like I was hit by a truck full of puppies.
So you listened to the Chumbawamba song Tub Thumping and said, I'll take a whiskey drink, I'll take a vodka drink, I'll take a lager drink, I'll take a cider drink. Did you then proceed to sing the
Uh,
songs that remind you of the good times and the ones that remind you of the better times?
Honestly, yes.
Добро пожаловать, комрades, to Titans and the Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news and opinions. This is the лучшее show for new and veteran опекунны alike. Where we share tips, tricks and tools to help you succeed and enjoy the game even more. Now you know what we do. Let me introduce you to my comrades in arms. The здорово Peroty. The стрёмно America's no one response in real life. And the class and удивительно Nitedemon. До свидания.
There's Craig, and there's Craig's buddy Georg. Lake Georg, the French version of Zero Bot, is here to record.
Your face is here to record.
Always. Always and forever.
I don't think the wife realizes the camera's off. She's still doing my makeup.
Beautiful. Perfect. So I'm going to start things off right. For the first time ever, without a night demon, I'm going to say that I am Peroty, and that man over there is no one response in real life.
What up?
Night Demon is the silky smooth British vocal man you will hear most weeks, and you will still hear this week because he is going to tell you exactly what is going to be happening this upcoming week in Destiny, as he does every week, which you could also find and may have already watched over at youtube.com/2titansandahunter. And even though he's not here to pick his brain about this week, he has finally done it, ladies and gentlemen. He has finally said, I'm going to take on the Shattered Throne. I'm going to complete it flawlessly and solo. And I'm going to mute myself periodically so I don't scream on mic if and when I fall to my death. But what I really want to know is, what did he do to the thrall in the thrallway? There should be a thrallway. There should be a thrall there. They saw him coming and said, we want no part of this. So if you're interested in watching him do his solo flawless Shattered Throne dungeon run that we've only been bugging him about for how many weeks now? Many weeks. That is also up over at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/2titansandahunter, where we give you the news every single week on what's coming up, and the stream replays of normally his Wednesday morning streaming, and this week Thursday streaming of solo flawless dungeon runs. So yeah, that's where you get your weekly dose of Night Demon from this week, since he is, I think, attending to some sort of child extravaganza. I don't know. There's always children involved when he can't be here. They drag him away,
No,
tie him up,
she
throw him in
can
a small
kidnap
room.
him. I'm convinced. You can't tell me otherwise. She got
Could be
tired
that
of the
too.
whole Destiny thing and the whole podcast thing, and she straight up disappeared him. I know that's what happened.
Yeah. So if he's
Question
back
is,
next
what
week,
did she do with him?
yeah, if he's back next week, then we know he's come back, and if not, he might be in a deep dark hole in the UK somewhere. Or
And if
Deacon's
Houndish
like,
is
listen,
also
you
gone,
can come out.
it's confirmed they're the same person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When the Houndish upload last, it's hard to say.
Right? Ooh, that's right. As soon as Deacon started applying pressure, Houndish stopped making videos. Good observation.
They're all the same person. And we might have lore this week. We might have lore this week. There's just really no way to know. So, but for the first time, I have told you who we are in case you're just now showing up for the first time, in which case, welcome. Glad you searched Destiny on Spotify and found us, or Respawn screamed to you to go listen to the show, or however you got here. Welcome. We're happy to have you.
Respawn doesn't scream. I verbally encourage
Bellow,
to a
holler.
high degree. Right? So
Those are all words. And again, maybe we'll have lore, maybe we won't. But what we definitely have is next week in Destiny, which Nitedemon's going to tell you about right now.
No.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Destiny for the 7th week of Season 19, Season of the Seraph, commencing January 17th, 2023. Kicking things off this week with our Legacy rotation, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on Week 3's rotation with the Scatterhorn armor set and Lightkin armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Chroma Rush Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle, the Ignition Code Lightweight Frame Grenade Launcher, the Grid Skipper Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle, the Lightweight Frame Sidearm Farewell, the Sonja's Tail Pinpoint Slug Frame Shotgun, the Shattered Cipher Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun, the Main Ingredient Precision Frame Fusion Rifle, the Long Shadow Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle, the Last Dance Omolon Adaptive Frame Sidearm, the Toil and Trouble Aggressive Frame Shotgun, the Wishbringer Rapid Fire Frame Shotgun, and the Last Perdition Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. On the Moon, the weekly story mission should be In the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zortal in Sorrow's Harbour. The Nightmare hunts this week should be Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Gaul, Rage. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Taken Enemies and the Plague Inomina, with the Ouroboros being the Ascendant Challenge, located over in Aphelions Rest Lost Sector. In addition, the weekly Throne World Reset also refreshes the pinnacle drops for the Wellspring activity, Preservation mission, and the Vox Obscura replayable exotic mission, plus the new exotic mission, Operation Sarah's Shield, in the Helm. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is the Ritual, where the modifier is Fire Pit, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the third encounter, Golgoroth, called Gaze Amaze. The gaze holder must stand in the pool of unclaimed light when swapping the gaze. The Vow of the Disciple challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Rorke, called Looping Catalyst. This is where Guardians must not lose the leeching force before the damage phase. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Gatekeeper, called Strangers in Time. Players must defeat the Praetorians and Wyverns at the same time. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the second encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into airlock/space. The Last Wish challenge this week is the third encounter, Morgoth, called Forever Fight. Players must not kill the small ogres during the encounter. Your pinnacle raid will be the Garden of Salvation over on the Moon. which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclopses that spawn near the Consecrated Mind. The second encounter, Spire Defense, called A Link to the Chain. This is where all Guardians must receive the Enlightened buff at the same time. The third encounter, Consecrated Mind, called Staying Alive, where you must not kill the spawning Cyclopses in the first 2 rooms. And the fourth encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100, where you must fully fill each conflux with 30 motes within 10 seconds of initially banking the first set of motes. And the pinnacle dungeon for this week will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon. Next up, challenges. So for week 7, the challenges available in the database are as follows. More Than a Weapon 7. Complete week 7 of More Than a Weapon. Defeat 5 Hive and Fallen bosses anywhere in the system. Bonus progress for defeating them in Heist Battlegrounds and the exotic mission, Operation Seraph Shield, for an Exoframe module and Challenge XP++. Heist Battlegrounds 6. In Heist Battlegrounds playlists, complete 35 heists and defeat 200 combatants with Season of the Seraph or Ikelos weapons for an Exoframe module and Challenge XP++. Legendary Heist. Complete a Heist Battlegrounds on Legend difficulty for Challenge XP+. Seasonal Shaping 2. Earn 10 levels with Shaped Seasonal or Ikelos version 1.0.3 weapons for Challenge XP+. Down to Size. Defeat 100 targets with Trace Rifles, 60 with Glaives, and 30 Linear Fusion Rifles in Gambit. Bonus progress will be awarded for defeating Invading Guardians. This will award Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Fleeting Glory. Complete Crucible matches in the competitive playlist. Earn bonus progress for wins. This will award Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. And Grandmaster. Complete any Nightfall strike on Grandmaster for Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Speaking of Bright Dust, we have our Eververse for the week of January 17th, 2023. Available this week for Bright Dust, we have the Origami Crane exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, the Taurus Rocketeer exotic ship for 2,000 Bright Dust, the Subjugator entrance and legendary transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust, the Festive Sparks exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, the Jubilant Decree legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust, the Lampion exotic ghost shell for 2,850 Bright Dust, the Taurus Firecracker exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust, the Lunar Growl exotic ship for 2,000 Bright Dust, the Tyrant's Vision exotic weapon ornament for the Eyes of Tomorrow rocket launcher for 1,250 Bright Dust, and finally the Lunar Tiger legendary ghost projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. Hello! As a reminder, your daily legendary lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of champions and burns you will find inside. But if you are new to the game or you are using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master. Tuesday, January 17th will be Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, Solar and Void elemental shields, Solar Burn with Overload and Unstoppable champions. Wednesday, January 18th will be the Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets, Void elemental shields, Stasis Burn with Unstoppable and Overload champions. Thursday, January 19th will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon for exotic chests, Solar and Arc elemental shields, Void Burn with Overload and Barrier champions. Friday, January 20th will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon for exotic helmets, Solar elemental shields, Arc Burn with Overload and Barrier champions. Saturday, January 21st will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon for exotic boots, Arc elemental shields, Void Burn with Unstoppable and Barrier champions. Sunday, January 22nd will be the K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic gauntlets, Solar and Void elemental shields with a Solar Burn, Unstoppable and Barrier champions. And finally, back round to Monday, January 23rd will be the Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic chests, Void elemental shields, Void Burn with Overload and Barrier champions.
Lead the way.
Our first featured Grandmaster Nightfall will see us face off against Kargan in the Insight Terminus over on Nessus, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle Engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 100k or more. This Nightfall is a free-to-play Nightfall. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, and adept mods. The higher the difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 5 barrier and 3 unstoppable champions, with 2 arc and 15 void shields. Masters and GMs will have 10 barrier and 4 unstoppable, with 7 void shields. The champions will be barrier colossi, barrier hobgoblin, and unstoppable incendiaries. Minotaurs and incendiaries will have void shields. Your Nightfall modifiers will be Champion's Foe. You will face barrier and unstoppable champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics or equip anti-champion mods to your armor to defeat them. These mods come from the seasonal artifact. Extra shields. Legend modifiers include all previous modifiers. Equipment locked. You will not be able to change your equipment after this activity starts. Pestilence. When defeated, Scions spawn void grenades at their feet. Match game. Enemy shields are highly resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. Acute void burn. Plus 25% void damage dealt and plus 50% void damage received. Ashes to ashes. Dealing damage with a solar weapon now applies Scorch to your target, but your foes also now apply Scorch to you when they are dealing solar or explosive damage. Master modifiers include all previous modifiers. Champions Mob. This mode contains additional champions. Togetherness. Base health regen is reduced. If near another player, health regen is increased. And Grandmaster modifiers. Chafe. Radar is disabled. Limited revives. Gain additional revives by defeating champions. Extinguish. If your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Join in progress is disabled. Kargan Stratagem. Incoming void and environmental damage is increased. The Grandmaster modifiers do not include Pestilence, Togetherness, and Ashes to Ashes. Your anti-champion artifact mods for this week's Nightfall are Anti-Barrier Bow and Pulse for 1 energy, Unstoppable Hand Cannon for 1 energy, Grenade Launcher for 7, and Low Entropy Superconductor, where Stasis and Arc melee abilities stun unstoppable champions for 1 energy. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalist, the new Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Eriana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword the Lament, and the Titan Exotic Gauntlet Second Chance, which gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. And for Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlets Athris Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The Nightfall featured weapon will be the solo aggressive frame shotgun, Mindbender's Ambition. The Mindbender's Ambition is an aggressive frame kinetic shotgun with a base impact of 80, base range and stability of 29. It can roll with Swashbuckler, 1-2 punch, well-rounded and incandescent, with auto-loading holster, pugilist, snapshot sights and threat detector. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen, and you have improved recuv for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health.
Delightful!
And finally, Lord Shax brings Mayhem to the featured Crucible playlist for the 7th week of the season. Mayhem is where 2 teams of 6 players go head-to-head in a clash-type mode. With a time limit of 10 minutes, the first team to get 125 eliminations is the winner. Abilities and supers charge at an extremely fast rate. Respawns are instant, and power ammo spawns are also much faster than usual. Plus, don't forget Saint 14 returns at the weekend for Trials of Osiris. As a reminder, Trials of Osiris is a 3v3 PvP high-stakes variant of elimination. Only available from Friday reset until Tuesday weekly reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought-after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris would have all of their games tracked through a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in trials will grant exclusive weapons, armor, pinnacle gear, master materials, and even adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5-round wins will bag you that match for your passage card. By competing in trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50-round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
Before we go, we have a few more things to go over for next week. Double rewards return to the Nightfalls this week, so if you want more of the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards, then this would be a good week to get farming and stocking up for Nightfall. Also, don't forget the annual Moment of Trance are still active in-game, where you can earn in-game and Bungie store rewards.
Guardian down.
And that's it for our 7th week of Season of the Seraph.
And there it is. Now you
Well
know
done.
everything happening next week in Destiny.
That's right. I bet you're wondering how he did that when he's not here today. It's called magic, right?
Magic of editing.
No, just magic. He's a wizard,
Oh.
Harry.
I thought he was a houndish.
Or he's a hairy wizard. Ooh. I get those two confused. What means what?
And one or the other, it's hard to say. No, but it's magic, and yeah, and okay, now so now we've introduced ourselves. We've told you what's coming up in the game. You know, the next week, all the funny things you can buy, the things you should be running. You know, if you have an exotic engram sitting in your postmaster, what day you should turn those in order to actually get the exotic piece you want out of it. At least the type of exotic, not necessarily the exact one you're hunting.
Mm.
And
Oh,
now
I got
we're back at this week of Bungie.
the twab.
We're back in
Twab.
Twapland. What we don't have is a DMG. He is off exploring the mountains or riding into the sunset or, you know, doing whatever he's doing now, which is not this. So good job, him. Hopefully
The
he's
hairy
going to find
houndish.
something to make him happy and have people scream at him less about their video games.
That's not a thing in the gaming community. People always find a reason to complain, you know, and
Without fail.
without fail. It's a community that we live in. Like, I really like the new pulse rifle, and I'm not afraid to say it. But like people,
Which new pulse rifle? The Revision 0 or the Velas?
yeah, the Valus is really good with my Void build, like no contest.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked
But,
because we've got Nate. You know, whoever was in charge of making hand cannons is now like, we're making pulse rifles because we've had a lot of good ones lately.
Yes, indeed. And I was thinking, you know, with it firing so slow, it might not be as good for my build as the submachine gun was with the repulsor brace.
Yeah, the repulsor brace.
Repulsors?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is brace. Okay, cool. And but no, it stacks up just as good. And with the larger magazine, I can kill more than one guy. You know? So, oh dude, no, that pulse rifle's amazing. I haven't heard any complaints about that. But the Revision 0 is the one everybody's complaining about. It's like, dude, it's got like Kebab dropships. Gotta hate them. It's got like the best stats in the game, and we still got another stat bump, yo. You know, it's like it's this good, and we still have another week to get another thing that's gonna bump up the stats even more. You know, right now I'm already at like 70 stability and 70 or 80 range on the 4 burst and 100 range and like 60 70 stability on the 2 burst. I'm like, dude, what is your complaint about it? I mean, is it an exotic? Yeah, it takes up an exotic slot, but I think it's good, especially for like barrier champions, man. Like, you save up those 4 rounds the whole time and you come up against that barrier champion and pop, he's done so, man. You don't even need the mod, you know. It pops shields. It's like a non-special version of the Arbalest, you know what I mean? Because it just pops shields. It doesn't care. you know?
Yeah. Having the intrinsic anti-barrier, honestly, having the intrinsic anything was nice, but yeah, the intrinsic anti-barrier is nice on it.
Yeah. And then that really powerful four shots is it's really good. And the thing that I didn't know until this week is that well, obviously this week is when it was unlocked, but I didn't even think about it till this week, is the the outlaw perk does in fact proc on the powerful 4 shots. So instead of having the really awkward long animation where you got to put the scope back down and then side and reload and side back in or whatever, now that it procs outlaw, it's instantaneous. So it's not even like a downside anymore, you know. And it's just anyway. I'm venting because people are complaining about it, but I think it's a really good gun. I'm using it right now, in fact. And yeah, it's just why people always got to find a reason to cry.
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, it's really one of those things. How are you liking the weekly go back in? Basically, here's a carrot at the end of please go run the story, and you'll get another piece for this weapon. Are you enjoying going back into Seraph, and finding the new robot and adding your new piece to it every week?
They could have done that better. They could have changed the mission, right? Instead of you doing the exact same mission with a robot in a different location, right? It's and to me, it's like, oh, if the piece was there, if the robot was there the whole time, why didn't I see it last week, or the week before that, or the week before that? You know, the fact that we're in the same space doesn't really make sense gameplay wise. But I mean, to be fair, you can speed run it after you've done it a week or two. You know, like whenever I run it with somebody, like on legendary mode, I'm already in the building. They're still trying to navigate the whole laser beam of death outside, right? It's just because the rocks to go to, when you go invis, if you happen to run one of those builds, right? So the repetitiveness makes it easy to run. Hold on, let me shut the door.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm enjoying about it is like the first week, I pulled up my buddy Montes' video and was like, take me through this. I don't know, because I'm used to all of the like super hidden weird mechanics, or hey,
right?
You have to climb behind this particular vent to get in. Honestly, after the first time, because I ran it through, and then I took Pan through, like, because he got on sort of like as I was finishing, going, well, let me run you through this again for the first time now that I've just done this. It's unlike like the Presage Mages and other stuff where I really feel like there was always some part I forgot about. This felt very straightforward. It's like, okay,
yes.
let me grab the different modifiers, a scanner and the operator. Let me go grab there's sometimes one that I forget about where exactly it is, but it's like, hold on, let me run around this room and look for the the bright yellow box or the little red box, and go, okay, it's like, I know it's one of these places, let me figure out which one it is. And yeah, it's very repeatable and very, like, I don't know, it just does, some of those missions just felt like it's like if you don't run them for a week or two, you're like, oh, I don't remember where this is, I don't remember how to do this. I'm like wandering through the weeds and the Aragorn of all the crap. It's like, no, this is nice clean server room, science style, nice brightly lit rooms going, oh, here's where I need to go. Let me take you by the hand and walk you through it.
So that and it is easy to find all the droids, but again, we go back to the whole, well, if that was there this whole time, why didn't I see it last week kind of mentality. Ease of use, no, it's really easy, but like, just like they could have done something better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, being exactly the same. Yeah, like even just like varying what kind of enemies there are, and the things they've done in the past, like the type of enemies would change over or something. But just like, you could walk in more or less blind and go, there's a turret there, there's 2 turrets over there, there's to be 2 captains down there. Like, it is the same thing, which is good and bad. It's interesting that I guess because we're building this weapon in a different way by going back and like basically getting pieces of this weapon to go rebuild. I guess they're probably like, that's the big thing we'll experiment with. Let's have the mission sort of just be the mission, so there's not like so if it all falls down, there's less things to fix, less things to hopefully troubleshoot. I don't know.
See, I'm glad you said that, because the thing that I am a little disappointed about that they could have done more with is the outside space. Outside is beautiful. I mean, I loved it in Deepstone Crypt. I love it here. And people are like, oh, they're just reusing assets. I'm like, I don't care. This is gorgeous, right?
They're beautiful assets. You take a photo, you want to show it off. You're like, look.
And I'm taking screenshots, yeah. Where you can see the Traveler from Earth, because last time it was over Titan, right? Titan.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think Titan. Deepstone Crypt, I think, is over Titan.
We'll go with it. No one's here to tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, it's over one of the moons. I know that for sure. It's over one of the moons. But or Europa, one of them. Just over a moon. Anyway, point is when you were out on the scape there, you could see the moon, and it was beautiful for that area, right? But seeing Earth and seeing the traveler, and then seeing how the traveler's gravity affects the clouds around it, right? Like
Mhm.
the attention to detail when you look at Earth from space, I was blown away. I was like, it is Europa. Thank you, Zap. I was blown away. You know, I was absolutely blown away. And they could have done more with that. Like they could have hidden a skeleton out there somewhere, right? Because when you fall, just before you start the Halo animation, you look up and there's like platforms under that crap, right?
Mhm.
There are places you can get to if you felt the need to do that, right? So they could have hid one of the skeletons out there, for an example, or made part of the mission out there instead of repeating the whole mission and getting us to that point again. Maybe the next mission should have started outside and we do more of the outside shenanigans instead of being inside the whole time, right? They really should have used more of that outside space because it might be a reused asset, but man, it's a good one. It's beautiful, and yeah, it's just
We've had so little like outdoor, even again, I always people always say, "Oh, did you hear the sound?" And I'm normally like, "No, I don't hear the audio." I actually played this like with audio on, and like like when you walk outside, like just all the audio getting muffled, like all the sounds, like the gunshots
Yep.
sounding
Yep.
muffled and far away, just like again
Well,
for someone
technically, you shouldn't
who
hear them
often
at
like
all,
ignores a lot of that
but-
stuff.
Technically, you shouldn't hear them at all, but
Right, no, exactly.
yeah.
But I mean, we don't have radios. We can't talk to each other. We have to fly there, and yet we have this technology to let us hear things in a vacuum. So
Mhm. Well, really, it wasn't Mike. It was somebody else I was playing with. Okay, one of the guys in our Discord. We were doing that mission because I was helping him out. He got super tilted. He goes, "We're in space. How do you die from fall damage?" Because he had to go from that one point to the other where you have to land on the satellites that are really far apart.
Yep.
And he was playing a Titan, I think, and he didn't slow down enough in time.
Oh yeah.
So he hit full speed.
You will break those. You will break those ankles, and then you just die. The moment
He's
you
like,
shatter
"We're
that
in
first ankle bone.
space. Our biggest problem should be worrying about floating away, not dying from fall damage." Right? I was like, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Like, I get hung up on the whole muffled sounds that shouldn't exist or whatever, right? But he made a good point. It's like, you wait, no, you're right. Why are we falling?
Is this?
Okay, even if the space station was big enough to have its own gravity, hi, Demi77. Even if it was big enough to have its own gravity, right? Let's say the fact that you're not floating towards it, you're falling towards Earth, right? So even if you try to accommodate its mass, the space station's mass, right? You're still falling the wrong direction. It's like you're going the wrong way, man. But yeah, so fall damage in space, it's a thing.
Those ankles are very important.
Oh yeah. And even as a Titan, when I played, I for those of you that don't know, Respawn was forced to play Titan for 2 months, right? And as a Titan,
lost.
I got the details are irrelevant, okay? And and the point is we you threw me off by saying why. Damn it. Oh yeah, the point is the Titan jump, when you land, like a warlock, whenever they do that double jump, they stop entirely, right? When a hunter is falling and he jumps, he goes up, right? So both really good ways to stop yourself from breaking your legs. Titans, whenever they're falling and you hit that double jump, it's like I'm engaging boosters and we're still going fast. We're going less fast, but we're still going fast. Oh, okay, and I'm dead. Right? It's just like I don't even after all that time, I can't gauge when to start your thrusters so you don't kill yourself.
Way before you think you should.
Way before you think you should. And then when I try
that's all I can say.
I run out of jump, right? And then when I try that, I run out of jump. The booster's fuel is gone or whatever, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'm out of jump and I'm still way too high. This is not gonna hit well.
Yep. Nope. Then you break your ankles, your face, and everything else.
Yeah.
No, it's very much a like it's something like if you play long enough, you sort of get the hang of. Just like everything else in video games.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it's very much like I am a rock falling off a bridge, and I have a little bit of boost. We're trying to slingshot the capsule around the moon. If I use a little bit of boost, I can get there. But you have to apply it at just the right moment, or you're dead.
Oh yeah. Now, a Titan main buddy of mine, whenever I was being forced to play Titan and I was dying in some of the raid jump puzzles, he's like, "Dude, do you have Lion Ramparts?" I'm like, "Lion what?" He goes, "It's a set of boots. See if you have them." I put them on. I'm like, "Oh my god, I have too much boost!" And I was like overshooting everything. I went from killing myself all the time to overshooting literally every platform I came across. It's like there's no middle ground. You either die or you float into space, and
Killing yourself the other way.
Yeah, kill yourself the other way. You're gonna die falling or die because you're too high. It's just Titans. Like, why? Why is your jumps like this? When you do the double jump, you have boosters. You should not fall to your death, right, or something. I don't know. I think Bungie needs to fix Warlocks so they can jump up if they happen to fall off of a ledge. If they could do that, I would concede that Warlocks have the best jump. I'll give them that, right? But the fact that you can't jump up when there's no ground underneath you, you're done. You'll never have the best jump in my eyes. Just for that reason alone, right? There's other reasons, granted, but for that, you're done, right? But if they could jump up, they'd have the perfect jump. And Titans, when you're falling, if you engage your jump and you would stop your downward momentum before it kills you, your jump would also be significantly better, But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know why they made Titan jump so weird when it comes to going down. It's like, we're meant to go up, not down.
Yeah, like all three classes are definitely like just very different. That's the one biggest thing I have trouble adjusting to. It's like everything else, gunplay, whatever, it's mostly fine. Your skill set of things you can employ is different for your classes, whatever. But just the movement, the jumping is so much different between the three. If you're trying to do anything with the jumping puzzle, good luck.
Yeah. Now, little known secret, I've never told anybody this, but when I first played D1, my first character was a Warlock, right? And because when you went through the description, it was talking about how Warlocks could heal and they're supporting magic and this and that there. I'm like, oh, cool, I can keep myself alive. Let's go with that, right? And then the jump happened, and I was like, yeah. This is weird, right? Because I've never experienced a jump like that in any game. I'm used to triple jumps like Mario, boop boop boop, right? And then this whole floating, not knowing where you're gonna land thing was bugging me. And then I went to Hunter, and then had the jump that I liked, and I was like, okay, cool, this is my class, and I never turned back. It's just the jump means a lot, especially when you're a kindergarten. I think the jump matters a lot, honestly. Or at least it did for me. But
yeah. I mean, trying to move throughout the world, and that's why part of it just like that's why we tell people maybe you pick one and and part of it is just what you know and what you learned. If you spent the last 6 weeks playing one thing, everything else is going to feel weird to you. Yeah, find the thing you like and roll with it.
Oh yeah. And then I just happened to pick the best class in the game, so win-win, right? There's already an argument in the chat about the best jumps. I wasn't trying to start this argument again, guys. I was just saying, I was actually saying there could be improvements. I wasn't slandering anybody this time. It's like, look, it would be great if you could do this, right? But yeah, especially the whole space station thing. See, Warlocks should be amazing in space. Warlocks and Titans should be amazing in space. Warlocks, you can just use magic to float around, and you should never land. Titans, you got your jumps that act like the space jets that the astronauts wear. You know what I'm talking about? The big backpacks. You should just behave just like that. You should just float around in space all the time. Hunters in space would be a problem. We are used to having solid ground, right? We need solid ground. So if we ever had a map where you're in space and you could just like float around or whatever, Hunters would absolutely have to like use like Blade Barrage to navigate or some nonsense, just because
cape. Just you use the cape and some little propellant, and you can be like a sailboat in space.
That's not how that works, dude.
Yeah, it totally is. If I can hear bullets in space, you could absolutely like have a lighter and push generate fire to make that cape go.
Well, what you can do is if it's a reflective cape, legitimately you could use the light particles from the sun to propel you.
There you go. Just heat up the golden gun. Use that to solar power. Yeah. So solar powered hunters, we got this. Golden gun, solar power, perfect.
Solar powered hunters. You know what? That's the thing. I love it. Just put solar panels on our backs and we're good.
Fixed it, solved it.
Done. Bungie, I need a solar panel cloak now. Actually, we actually have some. The Seraph kind of looks like a solar panel, doesn't it? The Seraph armor. Anyway, so
Sam has brought us this week a Bungie for the 12th of January,
damn,
2023.
who's this Sam? Is this a new person?
And it is the one true Sam Bartley, I think. Sam's been around. She's not been a 12 writer.
Oh, it's a she. Oh,
I think so. I think Sam Bartley is, and I may be missing something.
Is that
like
angry hippie lady? Is that angry, full on angry hippie or something about a hippie?
No, that would be hippie.
Well, it's not just hippie.
That's Leona. I think that's her first name. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, this is Sam Bartley, the Sam Bartley on Twitter.
The. Oh, it actually says the. I thought you were being facetious.
Yeah. No. Her Twitter name is that.
Okay,
Sam Bartley. The one true Sam Bartley.
Right.
Except no substitutes. She is here to write us this lovely 12 for this week.
Oh, yay.
Which is really, if you follow Bungie on Twitter, they're basically just like, we're going to tell you everything and then put it in the 12. Boom, bam, done. Call it a week.
Yeah. So it's a small one then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
They do some dates for us. Our Grandmaster Nightfalls are back, January 17th.
Oh, I'm so happy about that change. You guys will hear about it in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good change.
Yeah, the next Iron Banner, which I think I heard Nitedemon trying to pontificate about which the next, when our next Iron Banner would be based on the rotations, and January 31st, so end of the month. So not this coming week, not the next week, but the week after that. Iron Banner's back again for our second and only other time this season, because apparently we're 47 days away from the season ending, and because our final week of the season is our final week of the season is February 21st, because Nightfall drops at the end of February, so we basically have 2 weeks of January and then all of February for the season left. So that's it.
So let's take a break to admire Peroty's vocabulary. Pontificate is a word that you rarely ever hear heard, and it's a really nice word, man. Good job.
Sometimes I bring out the $4 words every now and again.
All right, no, it's worth it. I like it.
I can't remember if it was the stream I was watching him on during his Shattered Throne run, or someone was just asking, "Hey, when do you think next one will be?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking." He's made all these charts and graphs and lists of, "Hey, when does this thing come up? When do we have double this?" And he's like, "I think it's this week." And Bungie's like, "You're correct, sir. Here you go."
Oh,
yeah. And now we have the Grandmaster updates that Respawn's very excited about.
I am.
Would you like to tell the people what those updates are? What they can expect?
Yes, I would
why
love
they should
to
be
tell
so
the people.
excited.
Yes, indeed.
In 3 days from now when they drop and you can play them on Tuesday.
So, as a little preview of some of the changes coming to Grandmaster Nightfalls and Nightfall. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
When Grandmasters launch on January 17th, we are making the following power adjustments. Decrease the power level needed to enter Grandmaster by 25 to 1580. That's just the power cap, guys. If you get to the power cap, you're good. You understand what that means? That means no more power grinding for almost an entire season to just enjoy the last couple of weeks of Grandmasters. As soon as you hit the power cap, boom, you can go in. And the reason this is important is because, we'll get into that. Let me finish this. Okay, they've also decreased the overall power level of Grandmaster activities by 10 down to 1620. And the current power difference of negative 25 for all enemies or at least 25 power level above you is still in effect. This means you can enter at 1580, but enemies will be 40 power above you. You can still use artifact power and or pinnacle drops to increase the effectiveness up to 1595. We reach the maximum effectiveness. We'll have more information on further changes to Grandmaster Nightfalls and other high difficulty modes coming soon. So that is amazing. Because this whole time, it's been this just absurdly large, artificially inflated, non-important light number, right? And then, and the reason I say it's not important is because when you're at 1620 as a number, let's just say you're at 1620 and that happens to be the cap to get into the Grandmaster, right? You have to get to 1620, but you're locked at $15.95. So the whole grind from $15.95 to $16.20 was just a waste of time. It was just a way for Bungie to force you to grind bounties, grind all kinds of nonsense to waste time. They wanted you to grind their game, right? And that's not fun. Forcing someone to grind bounties, in my opinion, isn't fun. I know people out there that are bounty hogs, and they love doing bounties. I am not one of them. I like playing the game. I like going to the different planets to do the things that I want to do without being handcuffed by a bounty, right? So the fact that they've lowered it so you can go in sooner, I think, is amazing. So if you're going to be locked at $15.95 and the entrance fee is $15.80, right? Okay, you might be 15 power level under the maximum effectiveness, but you can get around that. There are builds and whatnot, like if you're rocking a Stasis Hunter and a Stasis Warlock, if the enemies are frozen, they can't kill you. Right? So, I mean, there are ways to get around the weakness thing, but just finally being allowed in is a big deal at an earlier level, and that is a great change. And it's a shame they didn't do it much sooner.
Yeah,
I wonder why they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few things in this game at this point that's still where your light level actually matters for anything. I mean, and again, they've lowered the barrier to entry. Perfect. The mode is still hard because I'm sure people were moaning, "Oh, it's going to be easier. You're making it." No, you're not making it easy. Like you're still 25 light levels below, and you can come in lower. You're going to be what they say, up to 40 light levels below. So it's still hard. Like it's still a challenge. But now you can bring your friend in. If you're both at $15.95, you grinded your faces off all season, and your buddy's like, "Hey, I want to go play this with you, but I'm only at $15.80 or $15.92 or whatever." You can at least get in the door. It's like, yeah, this will be harder. We can work through it to complete this challenge. It's not, oh, you can't even come in the door like it was last season, or you can't even get in the door to try this. You can't even say, "Well, I want to try it." I mean, yeah, maybe I'll fail, but let me at least give me the shot at it. Right. Then at least you have that shot.
It's even better than that because you said you grinded your ass off to get to $15.95. That's just it, though. If the power cap is the $15.80, right? $15.95 is not that hard to get to. Not like $16.20, right?
Right.
That's only 15 light levels, dude. That's compared to what it used to be. That's not hard at all. Like some people that hoard bounties are at that the first day. Like boom, are the Grandmasters open? I'm already light level. It's day 2. Let's go, right? So that's not a hard number at all, I think. And if you go to 1580, you are 40 under, true. But if you go at 1600, you're still at 1595. If you go at 1605, you're still at 1595. If you go at 1610, you're still 1595. So 1595 would be just the number to get to. Once you get there, you're at max. Boom. Hit it up.
There's no real reason to grind up above that because it's what Grandmasters and Trials are the only thing that are light level enabled at this point because they took it out of Iron Banner.
Are Trials in light level?
I think Trials is still light level enabled. I was actually trying to go and double check because I know they took it out of Iron Banner, so I think it's literally just Grandmasters. I mean, really, all of Nightfall, but realistically, Grandmasters are the ones where you feel it the most. And Trials, and I don't think there's any other light level enabled because none of Crucible is anymore except for Trials. It used to be Iron Banner, they took that out. It's just Grandmaster, so it's like you could grind the super high light level other than to show off, oh look, I'm a super high light level, but what else is the value of that? There's not a lot. Yeah, maybe the game's a little bit easier, but why put in that? Why put in the work?
Well, like I was saying earlier, they want you to put in the work because they want you to grind their game, right? By having artificially inflated numbers like that, you are forced to continue to grind so that you can get to whatever light level you want to, So that's the point of it. It's they're forcing you to grind, and that's not fun. So the fact that they finally understand that that's not fun, and I don't want to say it's greed, right? Of course, they want you to keep playing their game, right? So there is a business aspect to it. But forcing me to play your game, to do a grind, to get to an arbitrary number, to play an activity for a couple of weeks at the end of a season is not fun.
Right. And where the loot of that activity, it's not a unique loot pool. It's the same, it's the
Well,
adept
it
version
is the adept versions make
right.
them unique,
Well, right,
and
but
the
then, like,
adept armor too.
yeah, well,
so.
right, that's true. Yeah, I guess the adept armor and stuff. But like, just to get now I have the adept version of this weapon. Yeah, it might be a little bit better, but is that worth? Was that worth the previous grind to get to the GMs and finish them? It's like, no. And then,
Well,
that's a complaint
I
people
would
have had
say-
forever. It's like you want us to do this, but the loot pool, like, it's not even a unique loot pool for this. It's just the better version of a weapon I already have that's going to be
True.
randomly rolled. So it may not even be a better version of what I have because it's got rolls I don't care for on it.
Especially if you can craft that same weapon, but I don't think that's the thing for most of the Nightfall weapons. I don't think you can craft them.
Yeah, not
But-
yet.
But it's more than just the better version of the weapon, right? So yes, the weapon out the box is going to have higher stats because when you masterwork it, it increases all the stats instead of just the one, right? So that's already just a little bump in its favor. But the Grandmaster, the mods are where it comes in clutch because mods can dramatically change the performance of a weapon in a way that the normal mods just cannot,
Mm-hmm.
So that, I would say that does make it worth it, but just barely, just barely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's something to
I
go
have
for,
exactly
but it's
one
not.
piece of armor that has that extra slot, and it's my cape.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
I literally think I have an adept hung jury from like 3 seasons ago, and I think that's literally the
Oh,
only thing
nice.
I think I've only ever done the one Nightfall to completion, and that's the only thing I've ever got. That's my only Grandmaster anything. So I'm hoping, now that they've, because that was part of the problem too, is like, trying to find 3 people at the end of the season that were A, high enough light level, and B, interested in beating their heads against the wall to do what the Grandmasters with.
Yes.
So, and again, it was so frustrating being like, oh, you're 2 light levels away. We could go grind for like, a couple of hours to get, those pinnacles done. Or if there's something you haven't done yet, try to get up, you get that last little point. It's like, this is stupid. Like, this is dumb. You're close enough. Let me in the door. So I'm glad, again, just getting in the door. It's like, once we're in the door, survivability we can do. We can figure out a way to survive. There are ways to get through the stuff.
They're both, just freeze everything. Who cares? Right.
Exactly. Freeze everything, exploit your void over shields that are now better this season because they fixed it.
So much
there's
better.
ways to get it. There's ways to get through once you're able to get through the door. And just I'm beating this dead horse of what you couldn't even get in the door before because that's what prevented a lot of people from doing it.
It's an important point.
Try.
Yeah. No, it's a good point.
Let me go and get my face blown off. At least I'll know what I'm up against.
Whoa! Keep it PG, homeboy.
Getting your face blown off. We've said far worse. And that's the thing. It's like going and doing a master. Like I can 2-man a master Nightfall with little problem. That step between master and grandmaster, that is not a stair step. That is a large mountain you need to climb. Like that difficulty does not scale the way you would think maybe it would. Going, oh, I've worked my way up the difficulties on this. Let me just go from master to GM. No. Very different experience.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, he's absolutely right. What is going on? Oh, that.
I'll tell you what's going on is we've got Iron Banner at the end of the season. Well, end of the month season. It's all the same thing.
We only had 2 the whole season, right?
Yeah. We just had our one. We're gonna have our second in January 31st. So, and Bungie's, as they do, after people complain about you have 2 opportunities to play this, or if you couldn't play much that week, 1 opportunity.
Oof.
We have our brand new drop the Cabal drop pods on your head version of Iron Banner, the Fortress.
Oh my god, no!
How many drop pods did you get hit by? How many drop pods are in your dreams haunting you? I've seen so many clips this week of people mid super getting smashed by drop pods. It's delightful.
It's not delightful. It's not fun. It was not a fun experience. I went in there. Yes, I did play for you guys at, like Respawn play. Yes, I played. I actually played a lot of games, and I had to because the armor for the hunter was absolute. Dude, it was beautiful. And the whole armor set is good, but I really just wanted the cloak with the wolf head. That was it, right? And legitimately, I played so much. There was one time when I was getting no rewards, and then the next time I got 3. Let me say that again. 3 rocket launchers as a drop. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. 3 and it's the same rocket launcher. It's not like it was different rocket launchers. Like they give me a plethora of rocket launchers. Here, choose this one, or this one. No, it's like it's the same one, different perks. Ta-da!
Blowout. Here,
Yeah.
For those of you who remember the Edge Transit days, we're sort of back there. You know, the last time around it was the Out of Bounds SMG. Now it's the Blowout rocket launcher. They were just showering you with Blowout rocket launchers. I think at one point I got 2 Blowout rocket launchers and Aurora the Bear in the same drop for an endgame reward. It's like, guys, I get it. You're pushing rocket launchers. I understand.
Yeah. And the match right after that, I don't know if you were with me. I know somebody was, and I blew a gasket. And the next match, the drops were 2 rocket launchers. So in 2 matches, I got 5 rocket launcher drops, and none of them were even like Iron Banner weapons. Like
Nope.
I'm playing Iron Banner and I'm getting non-Iron Banner stuff. What the hell, right?
Yeah, nope. Blowout rocket launcher is your reward. Please enjoy deleting
Yeah.
57
And
of these
God
things.
forbid you give me a piece of armor. I was like 15, 20 games in before I got my first piece of armor. And then it was chest piece, and then chest piece, and then chest piece, and then leg. No, not leg. I don't have legs. And then a headpiece, and then like arms or something like that. I was getting multiple other armor pieces. Never got legs. And the second I freaking got the cape, I was like, that's it. I'm out. And they're like, wait, are you really leaving? Click. I was done. I was so done with that nonsense. Oh.
Well, don't worry, because there will be more nonsense and more Blowout rocket launchers you can get at the end of this month. They're also planning, because this is something I played a lot on my Titan and my Warlock both, because I played the requisite 18 games on both of them. Still didn't reset my rank. I feel like I played enough of this. I should have, I played more than just those 18 games on each, but like I feel like I played enough. I should have reset my rank, and I hadn't yet. So they are planning on increasing the amount of Iron Banner rank you earn at the end of matches, doubling the multipliers you get from wearing the Iron Banner gear, and having the multipliers you get from completing challenges, and significantly increasing the multiplier you get from wearing any Iron Banner emblem. So basically, after all of those changes, they expect to decrease the number of games you need to earn a rank reset by around 40%. 40%, making it more worthwhile to play earlier in the week. Because right now it's basically wait till the weekend, get your challenges done. That's where your big boost comes from. Now they're basically changing the weighting to say, wear the Iron Banner gear, definitely throw an Iron Banner emblem on, and that's going to actually give you more weighting to get your rank up quicker, which is a good change, because it's like it's sort of silly. I mean, I can see how they do, like, we only want you to play this number of games. I can sort of understand the time gate it sort of throughout the week of play this number of games and that number of games. But then it really is hard if you're like, I've got Tuesday to grind my face off. Let me go play this, play 57 games on Tuesday, and now I can be done with the week because, the rest of the week I'm out of town or I won't be able to play or whatever. And you're like, well, but then you can't complete the challenges till the weekend. Like it really is like almost, like a trial setup of, no, you must play this over the weekend. And if you can't, well, you miss out on all these rewards. So I'm glad this time around they're changing that, because it's the only other time this season to do that. If you're trying to, get your title or guild it or just enjoy playing Iron Banner.
What bugged me is like I saw that mission that you're talking about, right? Where you got to do X number of matches, and then
your challenges.
I didn't see it until I was at like I think 12. I think I had to get to 12 to be done with it or whatever, right?
18, but
and, well, no, I mean one of the milestones. I didn't know it was milestones. First of all, I didn't know it was milestones, right? I hadn't played Iron Banner in a hot minute. I didn't know about the armor cheat. I didn't know about the emblem cheat. I didn't know about any of that crap. So I was just going in with my standard PvP build, right?
Only somebody had been on a podcast with a man who is fanatically British and fanatically Iron Banner, who would tell you in great detail.
As soon as he starts that, I blank out, though.
Okay. I was gonna say you've met Nitedemon. How have you
Yeah,
been around him long enough to have
because
no?
as soon as he starts PvP talking, I hear Charlie Brown Christmas story in my head. All right, wah, 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 wah. Right.
Responses over there dancing in the corner. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, absolutely. With my little piano and my stinky blanket. Yeah, 100%. Um, but
All right,
yeah, I didn't know
companions.
any of that. And now I know, but I'll probably again forget by the time the next Iron Banner rolls around. You know, that's how I do, right?
Okay, so
But
Micah, I don't know if Micah listens to the show, but Micah, I'm going to ask you, remind Respawn how Iron Banner works. The big giant, icon you click to start it. You're going to need to read the words on that, and it will explain to
believe it or
you
not, he's a bad
what you're
example.
looking for.
He's
What you're
a bad
looking for
example.
and what you should be doing. Well, I'm telling you now, and I'm telling people within sound of my voice, so maybe they can remind you. Look at the big Iron Banner thing when you start the game, and it will tell you how many pieces you're wearing, what your boost is, how many games you need to play. It will tell you all that good stuff. So don't go to the nice man in the tower. He has nothing for you but gear for later. You want to look in the director when you start the Iron Banner. That will tell you, how many
Right.
games you need to play each day and what your current boost and rank is. And remember, you can put the ornaments on. You don't need to change your whole armor around. You can just say, let me put Iron Banner ornaments on and emblems, and it still counts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. I did put on an emblem after I saw everybody else wearing the Iron Banner emblem. I was like, hell, I got that one, and I put it on. But I didn't know it was giving me a bonus. I was just looking like everybody else. But no,
Follow the
the
crowd.
point that I was making, was that one of the milestones said like 12, right? And I was at 11 at the time. I was like, woo! I'm almost done! Yeah! Right? And because somebody had just told me that you get, when you complete that, you get 4 or 5 pinnacles, right? Now, to be fair, I didn't realize that meant each milestone you get a pinnacle. I heard when it's done, you get 5. Boom! Yes, right. So I'm one away. I'm at 11, and it says 12. I'm like, yes, last game. Let's go, right? And I hit that milestone. It turns into 12. I get a pinnacle, and I was like, wait, what the hell? What? There's only one. And I look at it, and it had changed from 12 to like 16 or 18 or something. I'm like, oh, you. I felt so cheated. It's like, oh no, no. You just put 18 the whole time, right? Just put 18, and when you get to the 18, just give me 5 at once.
or let me play 18 the first day. Again, I sort of understand the wanting people to play it more than just one day and then never touch it again. But yeah, it's like at this point, just wait till the weekend and play all 18, or Friday night play all 18, and then you're done. And then you will, over the course of those games, get your pinnacles to drop, not all at once. And you will have to absolutely sort between 57 blowout rocket launchers. Apparently 57 is my word of the day. Don't know why. Here we are. You will have to clear all of those out to find the Iron Banner stuff. But it might be there somewhere underneath all those rocket launchers. I would really like a counter. Bungie, if you're going to continue to do here is the one weapon looking at you out of bounds, looking at you blowout. If you're going to give me one weapon over and over and over again, give me an emblem with a counter on it. I would like to know how many rocket launchers I've gotten from this week of Iron Banner. I would like to know, because it feels like a million.
No, don't do that, Bungie. Just stop giving us this. Don't listen to Peroty. I don't want to counter for how many times you've given me the same thing. Stop giving me the same thing, man.
No, they're gonna give you the same thing. I at least want to know. Give me a counter for it. I got counters for everything else I don't care about. Give me a stupid counter for this one. I want stupid counters.
Respawn hates PvP. I get it. I know it. I'm complaining, but whatever. But listen, I have a point that's benefiting for everybody, okay? Iron Banner only comes out for a week at a time, right? And you only get it 2 to 4 times a season. A season, right? It's not like it's there all season and you can just go in at your leisure. No. You only get it a couple of times and it's only here for a week, right? So hear me out, right? In that week, you have a very limited number of time to get Iron Banner specific stuff. So Bungie, don't give me non-Iron Banner gear. If I wanted Crucible gear, I would play a different Crucible mode. Step 1. Step 2. Fix your RNG calculator and stop weighing one weapon far heavier than all the rest. At one point in time, guys, Bungie actually had the audacity to say, "Oh, we have no weapons that are weighted and no perks that are weighted differently than others." Lies. Every time Iron Banner comes around, you know that's a lie because you get that one weapon. Everybody gets that one weapon far more than any other, right? So we know being weighted the same is false. It's not true. Make it happen. And basically that's it. Yeah. So remove non-Iron Banner gear and make all Iron Banner gear weighted the same, right? That's all I'm saying. If you get a shotgun, maybe you can have it such that the shotgun weighs a little bit less until they get the submachine gun. Now the shotgun and the submachine gun weigh a little bit less until they get the rocket launcher. And now those three weigh a little bit less until they get a headpiece, right? Even a system like that would be great to make sure that at least by the end of the week, they've gotten at least one of everything, ideally, right? So that would be a phenomenal change to this game mode. If you did that, I might even consider going in and playing more often if I knew I was going to get guaranteed rolls of stuff, right? If I knew I was going to get at least one piece of every armor, if I knew I was going to get at least one roll of every weapon, right? If I had that mindset going in, I would absolutely play Iron Banner even more. But it's just not like that. You have Iron Banner plus normal PvP crap, which was asinine when I saw that. I'm like, what the hell? I can't remember, but somebody out there in previous Iron Banners, has that always been a thing? Because I remember playing Iron Banners before, and you just get Iron Banner weapons, and you just get Iron Banner armor. Like a year ago, like multiple seasons back, right? I don't know how long they've been adding PvP stuff, but I'm pretty sure at one point they only dropped Iron Banner stuff, right? Am I crazy? They should go back to that. Don't introduce PvP gear in Iron Banner. Yes, I know it's a PvP mode, but it's only here for a week, and I want Iron Banner stuff, right? If I wanted Shax stuff, I'd go talk to Shax. That's why he's there, right? I can literally go grab about 30 engrams right now and get his crap if I wanted it. I don't want that. I want Iron Banner stuff. Fix it, Bungie. Please. The last couple of seasons, people have been complaining about how they get one weapon above all else. Your community is not happy. Your community pays your bills. If you want to continue to have a community, perhaps you should listen to them and stop doing stupid things that make them angry. Okay? We don't like this. I definitely don't like this. And I'm a non-PvP player. I get it. But I think the points I'm making are pretty valid across the board, right? If anybody disagrees with me, obviously let me know why what I'm saying is wrong. But I think I have a solid point here. Don't just fix it. That's it.
Yeah. Give us, yeah. That's the thing I was going to add before you did was, yeah, give me a punch card of, let me at least get all of the, let me at least get one of everything, and then we can move on to giving me more than one. I think I'm still missing like the legs or something for my Titan. Like I just haven't, they just never dropped. In all the games I played, it's like, why could you not at least give me one of this new armor set so I could have it all? No.
Hold on. I think you're on something. Brainstorm with me here, okay? Mm-hmm. You said punch card, right? Great idea. Mm-hmm. Punch card's a good idea. What if they could also introduce like a bingo system, right? You have a card that's got all the weapons and armor on it, right? Once you get 5 in a row in any direction or whatever, right? You can pick what role you want, right? If you get 5 in a row, if you get a quote bingo, right? You get to pick an armor or a weapon, right? That would be the first classification. And if you really wanted to make people happy, let me pick a specific weapon or a specific piece of armor to roll, right? Like I want this scout rifle, roll me a scout rifle since I got a bingo, right? That would be a really cool mechanic to implement, I think. Or a punch card. That does the same thing.
Destiny card game win.
There you go. Right? Or the punch card. Like you fill out the punch card, you get 5 punches, boop, 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 boop. Now you get to roll a thing, right? Of your choice. I think that would make the game a lot better too. Because you have a mini game within a game. Ha ha!
Or let me take those blowout rocket launchers, carnival game style. Let me take all my blowout rocket launchers and exchange them. Let me give you 5 of these. Let me exchange them for, an Iron Banner weapon. Let me exchange them for, the thing I'm missing. Which again, they never do because it's a looter shooter. The entire point is you pull the slot machine and they give you a something
But you still use the slot machine.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
let me put the blowouts into the slot machine and have them come back out as something different.
Dude, no, that is a great idea. That's a good idea. And then if it works, do it with Vanguard too. Here's 18,000 of these. What's the post for this season? That starts with an A. It's got the little bipod on the front. Third axiom. Here's 20 third axioms. Give me 5 rolls of something else.
Let me turn
Right?
this back in for something I might actually want to use.
Yeah, and people are like, just dismount them for legendary charge, which I should do because, believe it or not, Peroty,
Absolutely.
bro, check it out. I've got max golf balls. I just had to max out a piece of exotic armor so that I could pick up the golf ball from Vanguard so that I could reset the rank. Which is stupid, Bungie. Let me put the golf ball in the bank, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep. I had to do that. I had to go on my warlock and like find something I wanted to masterwork. I basically like built a whole new build out just to masterwork the piece of armor, just to spend the golf ball, so then I could reset the rank to get. I think it was can't remember if it was Crucible or Vanguard now, but yeah, like to pick up the Velos X to like reset the rank and go around again to work on the ornaments. Like I can't make progress until I pick up the thing. But you're like, you have too many of them. Like, let me keep them. I've worked hard for these. I'd like to keep them for later, for something I actually want to use them on, not whatever thing I can think to do right now. Silly.
yeah, and they're like, the fact that they don't have something built in place to take care of that is retarded. Sorry, it's ridiculous, right? Like, here's a golf ball. Okay, I can't grab it. I'm full. Here's a golf ball. No, I get that, but can I reset my rank? Here's a golf ball.
Nope. You must take this and put it into your special golf ball pocket where you have too many golf balls. Never mind, you have plenty of other pockets. Those pockets aren't golf ball shaped.
I have a postmaster. Can I put it in the postmaster? Here's a golf ball.
Immediately no.
I have
does not how to handle that. It's not standard size.
I have a vault, right? I have a personal vault. Can I put it in there? Here's a golf ball. Damn it, Bungie.
Do you have Eleanor Shellstrop's file and not a cactus? Ding.
So stupid. I couldn't rank up until I got rid of that golf ball, man.
Yeah, which is silly. It's like, this is a pinnacle piece of equipment you want to hang on to. You work hard to earn, and it's like, but I don't want to spend it right this moment. I want to keep them. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah,
It's
and like,
silly.
all you guys are always talking about how, like, I always tell you how resource broke I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last couple of seasons, I've had no issues with resources. I've got over 300 of the cores. I know most people have thousands. Shut up. I don't need that many. I never had any golf balls. Forget that. What's a golf ball? I've never heard of those, right? I only ever had like a couple of shards. Not shards, the crystal looking things, the bits, the
enhancement cores.
No, the enhancement prisms.
Oh, the prisms. Yeah.
The prisms. Yes.
I was like, they're all shards. Like,
yeah. And I've only ever had a couple of those at max, right? But now, because of the Grandmasters, right? Again, now I have a surplus of golf balls. I have too many. You know, I need to actually find ways to get rid of them because I can't put them in a vault or a freaking postmaster Bungie. Anyway,
since you can only hold like 7 at a time, 8, something like that.
10,
like it's not even a huge number.
10. That's it.
Is
and
it
then
10?
you can't put them anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I spend some because I masterworked a thing to pick the other stupid one up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like,
yeah, you spend 3, now you have 7 to pick up the 1. Now you have 8.
Yep.
But
we're mathing so good over here.
But what I lack now, and it's the first time in a long time, I have like no legendary shards, dude. I dismantle stuff all the time. It's boggling my mind of them. Yeah, right. It's like I have no idea why I'm shard broke because I'm dismantling legendaries all the time because my vault is always full. Like even right now, I just cleaned it out. I got to 520. It's already back up to 577. You know, just that quick. So I'm constantly deleting legendaries and all kinds of stuff, and I am legendary shard broke. Excuse me? I've only got 200. Nah. Something's wrong.
Spending them somewhere. You're going to the bank and putting them in or something. I don't know.
I'd have to be, but for the life of me, I couldn't tell you what I spent it on.
Yeah. I'm sitting at. Now this is going to sound ridiculous. I'm sitting at 12,700 at the moment.
You and
But
Demon have a ridiculous amount.
Well,
Most people have a ridiculous amount. I'm the one that seems to be the odd man out.
Well, yeah, we'll see, because you don't play obsessively and do bounties and then break down everything it gives you because you no longer care what any of these weapons are or mean. But I've noticed, like, I think I started again. I feel like I started this season like up like another 6,000 or 7,000. Like, I've been watching this number steadily decline as we go, and I don't I don't feel like my play style has changed. I don't feel like I'm not sharding things. So I think people have been talking about, hey, they're messing with the economy. I mean, for one, they made the legendary shards do more. You need those to do everything now that they've taken like the destination materials away.
Oh,
like,
is that?
they're clearly messing? They're clearly messing with these economies, which I'm really afraid we're going to get like 17 new things in Nightfall that we now have to care about for economy wise. No, Bungie, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mm.
But it's like, I'm watching the number. Yeah, I mean, it's still a stupid amount of shards. I haven't worried about them, but I'm watching this number steadily decrease, and I was like, okay, are we doing something with these? Is there a plan behind this, or is it just they're going, let's poke this button because a lot of people do have so many of these. Let's just see if we can make you spend them all, and then turn everything into shards, and then you have to play again to get more of them. I don't know.
I think you answered my question. I forgot that we don't have planetary materials. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Things that I'm used to just hitting the button for and it taking the material is now eating my shards, and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah. The focusing for everything is now some number of shards again. Refer to whichever post that was, but yeah, we're just in the game, because like what I remember is they took out the destination material cost, and now it's like some number of shards, like 50 shards or 100 shards or 25 shards. I can't remember what it is, but it's all shard cost now. They basically remove destination materials and use legendary shards and Glimmer sort of as your two materials to do everything with. All the focusing of engrams, which of course then they throw at you like candy, like blowouts from an Iron Banner match.
Well, somebody in the chat's like they should take a page from some of these other games and make a clan or guild vault. But for that, I disagree, because you could get kicked from the clan and you no longer have access to that vault. So I don't like that idea. Or you could leave the clan, or a lot of things could happen such that you're not in that clan anymore. And if you have investments in the vault, well, now they're gone.
How will the pyramid scheme work otherwise? Come on now. You got to get people in. You could be on the ground floor of this amazing opportunity.
All right. I mean, again, Bungie, you could always sell space, man.
I'm really hoping that again, it's clear that obviously, well, I mean, Nightfall's on the horizon. We're not far from Nightfall now. I'm really hoping that some of the strain and issues the game has had this season is because they're like, listen, this is over, this is done, Nightfall is coming. We've rebuilt a lot of this stuff. We've made some major improvements under the hood, things like that. So one, our game will be a little more stable, and two, maybe it will allow them to do some of this stuff like vault space. I'm sure I'm just being blindly optimistic, but I'd like to believe that's what's happening.
You are absolutely being blindly optimistic, but I like it. I like it a lot, and I hope you're right.
Hopes and dreams, man. Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams, man. I just got a Lodbrock C with 4th times the charm, ricochet rounds, or high cal and target lock. Is that a god roll? That seems pretty godly to me.
Somebody just made a video about that this week. I want to say it was Cool Guy, but I don't remember. Somebody was telling me, and I think it was Micah saying they really liked the Lodbrock. I think it was that people were saying it's good. I have one that's not great, but yeah, that one I would hang on to. I think it was Cool Guy that made a video about it. Somebody did this week, and I think target lock was the thing, because that's the one where the longer you stay on target, the more damage it does.
Correct.
Is that? Yeah. I think he's like, that's the one you want.
Yeah, and for PvE you got the ricochet. For PvP you got high cal to flinch the hell out of people. I wonder, because it's a high impact auto rifle. High cal should flinch the hell out of people, ideally.
Yeah, there's no flinch in this game. Don't believe the lies. You can tell me there's flinch, but I've put auto rifles into people's faces enough times, and they were like, boop, arbalist, boop, hand cannon, boop, sniper rifle. I don't believe you. I don't believe there's flinch.
Well, then you have things like...
That's my conspiracy theory, I'm sticking to it.
With snipers, you've seen the video by Fallout that they really did up the flinch on linears and snipers. Like he proved that they did that, right?
Yeah.
So cool. That's done. So
Doesn't seem
now
like it
that
matters. I still die.
well, now you have a pulse rifle that can one shot you.
Fixed it.
Right now, and it's got no flinch because they even show that when you're in the quote sniper mode of the pulse rifle, it doesn't flinch you like a sniper. So you're tagging people, right? And then you have bows, right? Particularly one that works really great with Grafalcon's chest piece, that you can one-shot Guardians with, right? With no flinch, right? Or even if you don't have the chest piece, you could drop what's that? The Empowering Rift, right? Guess what? One shots, right? No flinch. So yeah, okay, cool. Snipers and linears flinch now, but look at all the other things that can one-shot you that don't have flinch.
Yep.
So yeah, I just think it was funny how they came out with this pulse right after they did the sniper and arbalest flinch thing, right? Like, good guys, look, the flinch is done. We have added flinch. Now you can't get one shot anymore if you're in a duel. But check this out, we have a pulse rifle you can duel with. You can one shot.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know if you have videos for this week or not, but I don't really have a ton, so I'm going to sprinkle some in here. But yeah, so Destiny Fun Please did this new hockey auto rifle is perfect. New perks talking about the Lodbrok C, who's the father of the Half Dan D that he also liked. And then it was Cool Guy who made a video this week of Destiny 2. This one perk on Lodbrok C will make you respect it. And the thumbnail is perfect. It's Half Dan's father with Luke and Darth Vader as Half Dan on Lodbrok. So we'll put those links in the show notes. But yeah, it was Cool Guy who was just like, this is the one. And I'm pretty sure the perk he's talking about is the target lock on it.
Yeah, he's got grenadier. Grenadier. Grenadier.
Yes.
It's French. We say it with an English accent, grenadier, but it's a French word, right? So, like, should it be pronounced grenadier, or somebody in French, somebody who speaks French, help me out.
Somebody in French, that country next to
next to all of Europe, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he's got grenadier on it. I think 4 times the charm would be better for like dual wise because I'll have more bullets than they have health. I hope. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe again, I watched the Destiny Fun Police one, but I can't remember which. I can never remember who talks about which perks, but yeah, that may be one he enjoyed. So
I had a video
of auto rifles in PvP.
I had a video about the pulse rifle since we're on topic, right? I added that. It's called Upgraded. It's the Ascos video, the Revision 0 V4 God Roll, right? And he shows the God Roll, or at least what he thinks the God Roll is. And we actually had this whole debate as to what a God Roll is. And it's like a God Roll is the best representation of how a weapon performs within how the weapon performs best in a given situation, right? So you have a God roll for PvP. These rolls make it perform best in PvP. You have a God roll for PvE. These perks make it perform the best in PvE, right? So a God roll is the best roll for a given situation for this particular weapon, right? That being said, apparently, and I've started to do this myself, with this pulse rifle, you actually need 2 versions of it, right? And when I mean 2 versions, I mean you need a 2-round version and a 4-round version, right? They do use different perks to maximize that gun in different ways based on the 2 or 4 round burst, right? So if you have 2 rounds, then you focus on the stability or whatever, right? Because you're gonna have max range already. If you have like the 4-round burst, well, then you might want to go for like a head seeker kind of thing because you're going to be riding up on the body or whatever, right? So he explained a whole lot of stuff in here that I think is really good to know for this weapon, especially if you're going to be crafting it. Well, obviously you're going to be crafting it. That was stupid. If you're going to be using it, instead of like just clicking it over from the 2 or the 4 fire rate, you might want to have just a 2-round version and a 4-round version because they do perform differently, and the roll for one might not necessarily be the best roll for the other one, right? So again, Revision 0 V4 God roll, Asked Across. Check it out. It's pretty informative.
Yeah, but I've been slowly working on mine. And if you're excited about playing Iron Banner, we'll bring us back to the last little bit of Iron Banner, because they do say, next season we will have Iron Banner 3 times, so we'll have a third shot at it versus the 2 times we've gotten the last 2 seasons. And if you're new to the game, or you've lost all your Iron Banner emblems, or just never had one, they say it will be on the reward track. In that first reset, hopefully, maybe one of the first rewards you get is the Iron Banner emblem for this next Iron Banner we're having at the end of the month. So if you don't have one to put on to enjoy all those extra boosts, they'll give you one in that track, hopefully Bungie early on. And they'll tell us more about, modes and dates and things in Season 20 when we get closer to launch in Nightfall, because will it be Fortress? Will it be something completely new? Who knows? They're going to play around with it again.
They're just going to say, if you lost all your Iron Banner bets, I was like, are you taking a poke at me, bro? You taking shots at me? You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
If you've lost your mods, then you didn't pull them from collection somehow. Not mods, but we do have mods. You have all the mods. Respawn, you have all the mods. PP Pipe, you have all the mods.
Have all the
Golden
mods.
God, you've got every mod. T-Rex King, you have every mod. Not every mod, but that was the other big change Bungie made this week, is they unlocked all of the non-artifice armor, non-raid mods. If it's just a mod and you've been waiting for that lovely little robot lady to sell you the proper mod that she hasn't sold in 9 months because she hates you and doesn't want you to finish your build, the plunder the booty told you should make, now you can. Every mod is unlocked for every Guardian to build craft with, to play with. So now when you watch those videos going, oh, well, I don't have that mod, or I didn't play that season, don't have that one, now you do. So you still need to get the raid mods, you still need to get the artifice mods. It's not every mod in the game, but basically, here is all the mods that we've been collecting over the last number of seasons unlocked for you.
And having somebody new to the game in the clan is actually kind of hilarious, because since you brought her up, PP Pipe, she's all like, yeah, guys, because we were talking about builds with each other about what makes the best, because we were trying to explain why on Hunters the last couple of seasons, mobility, even though it's our primary stat, is a throwaway stat. And people are like, what? You're crazy. It's like, no. Discipline is way more important. Not discipline. Strength is way more important for a hunter than mobility. And we were going through all these builds showing them how and why, and because of this, because of wells, because of, this one, when you melee somebody, you instantly get your dodge back, whatever, right? So we were going through all these builds. And she's all like, man, my mod game is really lacking because I don't have like most of these guys that you're talking about. And I was like, girl, as of what was it, Wednesday or whatever? I said, girl, as of such day, you have all the mods. And then she's like, wow, I really need to get on the game more. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you know, we all have all the mods. And like, it didn't really make any difference to me because I thought I had all the mods. And then when I looked through the new ones, it's like, oh, I was missing this one single Warmind mod.
Yeah, I think everybody is like, I was missing this one. And honestly, I honestly haven't checked because I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't encountered any mods that I was missing to do anything with. And I'm pretty sure, because even though I still, to this day, don't really understand how like Charge with Light works or some of these other interactions, I told myself early on, I'm going to buy every single mod when it's available. And then when the day comes that someone smarter than me says, use this mod, it's super good right now, I will have that mod available.
Well, Charge with Light.
Now you don't have to. No, you can try to explain it to me. And many people have. Like I could understand it.
It's just a currency.
I just don't care.
You're just using light as a currency. That's all it is. You do X number of things to get the currency, and then once you have the currency, you do X number of things to spend the currency. It's
murder. It's all murder.
Well, that's how you get a lot of the currency. Up to 5, I believe, right? Anyway, but yeah, so everybody's got all mods, so everybody can build craft to your heart's content. Now the only thing stopping you is exotics, right? Or rolls. Because like I had no idea how good
getting the good version of something.
I mean when it first came out, Repulsor Brace, I was like, meh, kind of whatever. Seems okay. And now
you're
with Void
remember that repulsor brace
3.0,
thing I deleted?
no, dude, I deleted so many repulsor braces, right? And then I got this mod from Plunder the Booty for my Void Hunter to make him really OP, constant invis, constant overshields, this, that, and the other. And I had one gun, which was the submachine gun, the Unforgiven, that I had repulsor brace on, right? And I have not had another one with repulsor brace until I got the Velas. That's it. So I was figuratively shooting myself in the foot. Like, damn it! Why? I deleted so many of them, and now I see why Nitedemon just has his vault full of just so many things. Because like repulsor brace. When are you ever gonna need this? Gosh, you need repulsor brace for this build. Son of a biscuit, right? Oh man, it's
bet you wish you had this. Oh, yeah. No, it's been a good learning activity of, I should have kept that around. But yeah, but the mod, it's so much nicer to now say, hey, you can do this build. You have all these mods. Do you understand how they work? Absolutely not. And you don't need to. You just say, put these things in these places, and your day will become better.
No, weapon kill against enemy affected by void debuff grants overshield. Okay, cool. So for you guys, repulsor brace just gives you an overshield, right? That's all it does for you. For hunters, it gives me an overshield and makes me go invis, right? Just because of how my build works, right? But you guys don't do that. If you kill somebody with repulsor brace, you only get the overshield. You don't get invis perks, right?
No, I mean, what's giving you the invis? Is the Falcon, or is it something else?
No, when I kill a weakened enemy, I go invis. I proc invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah, and so if they're weakened anyway for repulsor, you have to kill a weakened enemy with repulsor brace to get the overshield. Well, the weakened enemy, when I kill them with a void weapon, also happens to make me go invis, and also happens to give me the void power up for bullets.
Yes, the detonators. The
word
volatile rounds. Volatile rounds.
It also gives me volatile rounds. And at some point in time, I have to go back through my build, because at some point in time, I'm also proccing where the hunter eats his nade. Not the hunter, the warlock eats their nade, and every kill fills up their health bar. That thing
grants you devour.
Devour, thank you. And something in my build gives me devour. I'm like, huh, cool, right? So I'm an unkillable, overshield, invisible god with repulsor brace on, and yeah, I'm not saying keep everything you evolve like Nitedemon, because he's got a problem, right? He needs to see professional help, but at least keep one version of every mod that the weapon drops with, because you never know. You're gonna need it, man.
I mean, at the very least, incandescent, volt shot, repulsor brace. Those are the three mods. Incandescent for solar, volt shot for arc, and repulsor brace for void. And I don't think we have a stasis one yet. But when they bring us a stasis one,
the stasis you do, the crystals go boom.
I guess headstone.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I guess headstone would be. But anyway, yeah, like if for no other reason, since those are sort of like the 3.0 verbs that work with your subclass. If you have a weapon that you think you might use that has that on it, even if you think you might not use it, but it has it on it, remember, we're going to have a new set of, champion killing weapons next season too. So if that scout rifle, you're like, I don't really care for scout rifles. If that one drops with volt shot or repulsor brace or incandescent, maybe toss in the vault, because you're like, hey, this might be a fun thing to use when I run solar. And if you are thinking about, doing some builds for the first time, or now that you have all the mods, going, hey, those guys told me about those people who do all those videos with all these mods that I never had before. Now you can sort of look through those weapons and say, oh, what do I have that can sort of pair well with these things? Because a lot of these builds, they don't really rely on a particular weapon. It's more or less like throw your subclass on, throw a void weapon on, go to town, or like Respawn does, do that. But then add repulsor brace, you just get another, it just worked with beautiful synergy with what you're running with. It just makes your good thing even better.
Yeah.
So yeah. At least glance at things before you delete them, except for the blowout rocket launcher. Delete all of those. You don't need them. It's not important.
You don't.
I don't think I have a single one left. I checked my vault. I deleted every last one of them. I'm like, no. You're an arc rocket launcher. Why do I need you?
I might be like you though. Question for you.
I lied. There is one. I found it. There is one in here.
Vault Shot, right? When you read the perk, it says when reloading after a kill, the next hit, it says hit. I verified it says hit causes enemies to be jolted and lightning jumps to them or whatever, right?
Yep.
That's not working for me, at least not consistently, because I spent a lot of time in Shirochi leveling up my Aikilos SMG that I can craft now, right? So I have Volt Shot on it, and I took painstaking time to check on this, and it's not consistent, right? So I reload. It says Volt Shot at the bottom. I'll shoot a thrall, right? It'll take half his health away, but nothing happens. I shoot the thrall next to him. That thrall ignites and lightning goes everywhere. I'm like, what the what? You know? And sometimes I'll shoot the first guy and it'll proc. Sometimes I'll have to shoot like the third or fourth guy for it to proc. It's like, it says the first hit, not kill, not the third hit, not none of that, procs Volt Shot. And it's not doing it for me, not consistently anyway. And it's really bugging the hell out of me. Because from my perspective, using this gun, everybody just loves Volt Shot, right? But from my perspective, after finally having it on a gun, it's very lackluster to me. Because it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. Like, when I reload that magazine, I'm expecting that first shot to delete a bunch of ads, and then I reload again. Boom, done, right? But no, I have to empty half a mag, sometimes even the whole mag, and then it'll proc, if I'm lucky, before I reload. I'm like, this is very inconsistent. What the hell's going on with this gun?
Yeah, so my problem with the Volt Shot is, of course, the reloading piece of it is because I've got on exactly two weapons, the Scout Rifle from last season, the Tarnished Metal, and then it dropped on one of the Dark Deciders. So I was like, let me play with on the Dark Decider, the Auto Rifle from Iron Banner. Let me see if it's any good, worth using. So so in DIM, the community insight says, upon finishing a reload within 3.8 seconds of a kill, your next weapon hit within 7 seconds applies Volt. It's one of those, honestly, I rarely notice it. Like, I just don't notice it. Again, maybe it's because I'm running it with an auto rifle more so than the Tarnished Metal, but it's like, it's there, I assume, but I don't really see the effects of it. Every now and again, I'll see a little bit of, arc dancing between people, but I also throw enough grenades at that point if I'm running the arc build that I can't tell where the lightning's coming from. It's just things are dying to lightning.
Yeah.
It's definitely the one where like incandescent is very easy to tell when it's proc. Like I feel like I can see that working.
On the
repulsor brace.
Shotgun?
Yeah. Like the repulsor brace. Like again, I feel like I can see that working. I feel like I can understand that one. The Volt Shot just does feel a little bit more random. It just does feel like it procs when it wants to, and it's not super powerful. Like it's one where I haven't really thought about, even though I've run a ton of Volt, a ton of Arc last season. It's like, yeah, I have this, but I don't really see that synergy. I don't feel that power.
Oh yeah, and since you brought it up, the incandescent, I have incandescent on the Aikilo shotgun that I leveled up. I can craft it, and I put incandescent on that bad boy. One magazine is enough to clear the entire Shirochi encounter, because you shoot that first thrall, and I don't know if it's because it's the amount of damage that you do, but he detonates, and he detonates a whole group around him too with one shot. Like, it's not like the submachine gun where you shoot a guy here, 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 and you start to spread it around, and then people start to detonate. No. Shotgun. Boom. Like, what? This is amazing. So, yes, incandescent on the freaking Aikilo shotgun. Get it. Use it. It is fun.
Yeah. And incandescent's a lot of fun on a lot of things. And I do see we have a wanderer from the Mist join us. But before we get to the Mist, I do want to also get to the point where Respawn, you just need to stay focused, because the focusing costs for all of your Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Crucible, and Gambit weapons and armor are going to be reduced to 25 legendary shards, down from 50.
What?
So if you've been focusing at going to any of the vendors, turning in those things, you've been throwing 50 legendary shards at them the entire time. Part of the change this week, it's now 25 legendary shards. And if you've been focusing your adept weapons, those are going to be reduced to 50, down from 250. So if you're focusing adept weapons,
hold on, back up.
250
I think
shards.
I misheard you. What was it initially?
For adept weapons, 250. It's going to
250,
be
and
reduced
it's
down to 50, so 200 less shards. And for the focusing cost of just Trials, Iron Banner, Crucible, Gambit, basically anybody you can go pick up an engram and focus, it was 50 legendary shards. Every single engram you pick up, 50 legendary
what?
shards. They're going to cut that in half down to 25.
That's
the Glimmer-
impressive, but from 250 to 50 is insane.
Yeah, for your adept weapon, that's a cost. And then the glimmer cost of your regular ritual weapons reduced from to 5,000 down from 10,000. Which glimmer, it's irritating to have to spend 10,000 glimmer on anything at a go. I mean, yeah, you can get plenty more glimmer. It's just irritating to be like, oh yeah, focus these things. Let me go get more glimmer. So they cut that in half to 5,000 down from 10,000 glimmer. But yeah, so every time you've been picking up one of those lovely little engrams that are sitting at a vendor, 50 legendary shards. So that's probably where some of yours have gone. If you said, oh, you've got 30 of these, let me clear out 5 or 10. Well, there went my 300 legendary shards. Boom, gone.
Yep, Vanguard had a bunch for me. That's where all my shards went. Absolutely. Gone, man. I don't know.
They're making these changes, to allow you to focus gear. And for newer players who aren't saving, all of their legendary shards and haven't been doing that since 2014, they want people to have the opportunity to chase more spicy rolls without breaking the bank. So now you can chase your spicy rolls without breaking the bank.
Ta-da!
It says you can try these out next week. So I don't think it's live for trials this weekend, but next weekend it'll be live for trials. And then Lord Saladin when it comes back on the 31st. And I don't know if this is going live as we talk to you right now for Crucible and Gambit. I know trials I saw, it did not go live this weekend today as we talk to you Saturday, January 14th. It's not, it's still the more expensive cost, but next weekend it will be less. I don't know about Crucible. And are you in the game? Are you in an activity? Or are you in the tower respawn?
I'm in an activity, but I can look. What do you need?
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, if you're in the tower, can you see if the cost to focus is 25 or 50?
Oh,
I don't remember. I don't remember when. Actually, I think I put it in the respawn report roundup. So when we get there, that might tell us what day that actually takes effect. But yeah, but if you've been spending all your legendary shards, wait a couple days maybe, and you can spend them for much less.
Yeah, because last time I checked, before the season started, I had like 1,200. 1,200. Now, not a lot compared to some of you guys. Yeah, now I'm down to 200 something, like 205 or 250, something like that. So yeah, and I didn't even realize it was costing me shards to do the freaking Ingrams from freaking Vanguard.
Yep. Yeah. Because the changes they made were basically we removed the destination materials and made everything shards and glimmer.
Shards are going to be a rare commodity now, man. Legendary shards are actually going to be legendary now. Jiminy Christmas. That's not fun.
Well, Respawn, don't worry, because yes, you can pet the dog. And if you haven't watched Fallout's video, which is titled something like "It's a Terrible Time to Have Eyes," which we'll put in the show notes, or gone to the TWAB.
Pissed off about the spoilers? Is it that one?
No, this is the one where it shows you how they did the dog animation of Forever now seeing a small pink man rising his head up to be pat lovingly.
No.
It's also, they have the little clip in the TWAB.
I see it right here. Yeah.
Of just, is this how video game development works? Yes.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can pat the dog, and just every time you see that cute little robo dog, it's a small pink man crouched down. That's all it is. Always behind the scenes.
Ruining my immersion!
Yeah, by reloading. So there's a Bungie store update. Presumably, if you've ordered things, they will show up to you one day. Basically,
that's being presumptuous.
Yeah. Basically saying it can take up to 12 months to manufacture physical merchandise, varying transit times to destination centers, blah, blah, blah. Things take a long time, as we all know. When you order a thing, it could take a while to get to you. Respawn is living proof of that. We have a player support report of, honestly, Stadia people. Bungie has turned off the servers for Destiny 2 on Stadia. If you haven't taken steps to save your character before the Stadia goes away on the 18th, I don't know what to tell you. We've told you plenty of times. Bungie's told you plenty of times. If you missed it at this point, we can't help you. Well, what we hope to help you with, we as Bungie, not we as the podcast, because we have no power to help you with any of these known issues. like the push the objective crucible bounty gains inconsistently applying between game modes, players being unable to crouch after acquiring the first scanner augment in the Operation Seraph Shield exotic mission. This can be resolved by entering and exiting a menu or remapping keys if you find yourself unable to crouch any longer. Players who do not own Beyond Light are unable to reach the security drone above the ziggurat in the Europa, preventing completion of the Seraph title.
Wow.
So, new Iron Banner armor does not count for progress towards Ganora's Seal Triumph required for the Iron Banner title. So, if you're going for that, use some different Iron Banner armor, not the ones you've worked so hard to get this season. Your High Mind Complex gauntlets display a floating piece of armor when equipped with the feminine character model. Kills using the Hierarchy of Need Exotic Bow will display a submachine gun icon in the kill feed. They are investigating an increase in centipede error codes. Players who are granted access to armor mods in yesterday's patch. So the patch has gone live, so you have all the mods.
Yay!
It will not appear as unlocked in collections. So you can still go to the armor and use them that way, but if you look in the collections, they will not show up there yet.
Ooh.
And as always, there's a whole list of unknown issues. It's in the show notes if you're curious about them. We have movies, we have artwork, we have many beautiful things. One last time for the Stadia players in the back, set up cross save, or your characters are gone forever. What more?
Speaking of gone forever, is it true that people lost characters? Like people's characters were straight up deleted?
Well, if we get to the Respawn report roundup, there was one instance of someone losing a character. Which is basically they were going to load into the game. They got a contacting Destiny 2 server error, and when they came back, their Titan was gone forever.
Oh, it's only a Titan. That's fine.
Deleted. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't mind. They had their Titan deleted into the ether, which has been. I've seen a whole lot of people talking about. Oh my god, this is widespread. Oh, this is happening. It's like, no, it was literally one person. Bungie has looked into it. Bungie has taken some steps to resolve this and have looked to make sure, it is not more widespread. It is not affecting more people. Because, that would be a terrifying thing if, there's a server glitch and all of a sudden your character's gone.
A little bit, yeah. Now, whoever lost that Titan, honestly speaking, I'm joking, but that does suck. Losing any of your characters sucks. Because, what if you had, I don't know, like a God roll weapon on that character just to save space, and now that whatever's on them is also gone, right? Mm-hmm. So losing a character sucks. But I hope you can take solace in the fact that at least it was a Titan and not a Hunter, right? So maybe that eases the blow for you a little bit. It would for me, but yeah, sorry, dude, or chick, or in the middle. Anyway, are you done?
Are you done? This is your report.
So, Destiny 2 says, as a preview of things to come in Nightfall, we have some exciting updates coming soon. Tomorrow, all standard armor mods are unlocked. We're done. Okay, get focused up. You did that already. Grandmasters, we discussed that already. Bungie changed the name of Warlock and Titans in the Strand subclasses to dun, 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 dun. Warlocks are now Brood Weavers instead of Architects, and Titans are now Berserkers. Somebody put a meme up the other day of Wolverine with the Titan strand around his hands, and now I can't unsee that.
Listen, we're just big crabs. Also, Bungie, you are cowards for not keeping the Warlocks as Architects. We know they are the source of all of our problems. I've been killed by them too many times, and the Titans are just big crabs. Yeah, I saw the meme that I think T-Rex King or someone posted about how, hey, you get another version of Striker Titan, but it's green this time. Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You hit faster. You hit a lot faster.
Yeah, we're
I've seen the combo. Now. You go, pop, 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 pop. Maybe maybe your rapid hits will make that the new DPS, master. Because the Hunters, we just do one big AoE thing, right? And then we're done. Warlocks have a Strand Nova Bomb, right? So maybe your rapid successive hits will make you the DPS king next season. Who knows?
No, we're
Right?
just going to be stupid crabs and have another stupid super that no one will want to use, or it'll just be Striker 4.0.
Broodweaver, that sounds kind of Hive-ish, doesn't it?
Maybe.
Sounds like that
Only
should
the
be
architect to tell us.
regarding the player who had a character deleted. Here you go. Morning. We've got an update. Multiple teams dove into this, and we did not uncover any evidence that other accounts or characters were affected. Because this was a unique situation, we were able to come up with a one-time fix to restore the character. While we understand that players would like to be able to restore deleted characters whenever they like, this was an extremely complicated process that required a variety of teams and numerous hours to implement for a single account. Good for you! I mean, I'm glad they went through the trouble instead of just telling the kid, oh well, make another one. Honestly, good on you, Bungie. But feedback for this feature has been noted. We appreciate your patience and thank you for your help as we worked on a solution. Well done. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well done for just
super
not
good
saying...
news, because it'd be so easy just to be like, yeah, we're really sorry. It was a terrible bug. It sucks, but we're very sorry. So I'm glad they were able to restore the account. Apparently they were only, the last update I saw, they were able to restore the account, but like, the play time had gone from like 1,500 hours to 200 hours. Like, so like all the gear was there. Like the light level was correct. Like the player was at the appropriate light level, but like the hours of play time was lost.
Oof.
Which I was sort of curious, which was sort of started a little conversation in our Discord about, would you care if your playtime were lost if you had all the gear? So because it sounds like the character was returned with gear, with light level, so everything was basically restored, but sort of the hours you put in were no longer reflected anywhere.
Oh, it would affect me greatly, because imagine when I was forced to play, everybody talking about how it's a Titan main. I had to go to my hours played to show them my Titan is the least played on my account for years, by a huge margin. So my Hunter's at I think 3,000 hours or 2,000 hours. It's some huge number, right? And then my Titan is at 400. So imagine if my Hunter lost all those hours, right?
If your Hunter was sitting at 200 and your Titan was sitting at 400, it's like, no, I promise. I
promise you I'm a Hunter main. I swear to God, right?
Then you just point to this article and be like, I was that person. I was that guy who had the thing and the deleted.
What it sounds like to me from a third party, it sounds like his wife and or girlfriend pulled a Deacon and just deleted it when he wasn't paying attention.
No, because Bungie would be like, yeah, that sucks for you. Goodbye. I'm sure they would just tell you no at that point. Yeah, but it was super nice to see Bungie own up and go, yeah, no, this is absolutely our issue. We're gonna spend the time and put in the work to get this resolved, which is very cool.
And honestly, that's the hardest thing to do. Like, how did he prove it? Because what I do for a living, I was training a guy a few weeks back, and I told him, honestly, once you're up and running, the bulk of our job is proving it's not your fault, right? And it's like, for my job, we have so many people interacting to make this one system work, right? And if it doesn't work, you have to track down why. And when my stuff is working, I know my stuff is working, and I have to prove it's not me, it's somebody else. And doing that is probably the hardest part of my job. So I'm wondering how he proved to Bungie that he didn't just delete it himself, or his kid didn't delete it, or his wife didn't delete it, or whatever, right? How did you prove to Bungie that I did not delete my character? This is a thing that happened to me. And Bungie just be like, yeah, whatever, right? For them to actually look into it, I think took a huge leap of faith, unless he was recording or a streamer or something, happened to catch it on video,
Yeah. That's what I definitely, I don't know all the details about it, but I think this is something they got enough play quickly. Because again, if you hear about a game eating characters, Bungie was probably like, oh, is our game eating characters? Because we need to know immediately if that's the case and make sure it's not happening to other people. Like, when they rolled back the entire, they've turned the APIs off recently. But remember when they had to roll back the entire game at one point? Because things were going so haywire. So I'm sure they're very interested to know, let's see if this actually happened. Oh, this actually happened. Oh, no. So I'm sure they were very motivated to look into this, to at least go, yeah, I'm sure someone said, hey, is this a real thing? Did this actually happen? Or is this just, because I'm sure they get plenty of those, oh, your game made my character's like, no, we see here you hit the delete button. We have it in the server logs. Like,
Right?
you did this.
You held that delete button down for 15 seconds. We saw it, right?
Yeah, you said, no, really, I want this character gone.
But yeah, and last but not least, Xur will finally start selling version 3 Aikidos weapons instead of version 2s. So Xur is on board. He's been caught up. The 9 is finally updating his supply chain and will now sell you version 3 Aikidos weapons instead of version 2.
And
Huzzah.
apparently the API. So if you use one of the, where is Xur and what is he selling? Apparently the API is still showing him selling the version 2 of the weapons, but in game it is actually version 3.
Mm-hmm.
So Xur's only lying to you through API, not in real life. And that, I think,
That being said, that does it for the Respawn's report roundup. It was a short, but good one. Oh, and the reason I asked about the Titans being deleted is I woke up to a meme on Facebook, and it showed the planet, and it was like all these light beams coming off the planet, these green light beams coming off the planet, and it was strafing the globe, right? And the caption was Bungie deleting all the Titans off the servers. And I was like, what the hell is that? What did I miss? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it makes sense.
all the memes now make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the only other so the videos also I just want to throw in a link to. What a terrible day to have eyes is Fallout's video of just what's going on in the game, and also the terrifying man petting small pink man that will haunt my dreams for quite a while. And then Sweaty Spooks Games put together a Repulsor Brace Warlock Void 3.0. Just talking about how Repulsor Brace works and in the Warlock context. So if you're going Repulsor Brace Void, how do these things work? He gets into a little bit of that, and so throw that in there as well. So wasn't a ton of there's tons of videos this week.
For
but
you, Plunder the Booty has a really good build. Like I'm tempted to go on a Titan and try it out.
Which one is this? Is this one of his 3 glaive builds?
It's the one that just came out. I think it was yesterday about how it's a Titan Void glaive build that with the bubble, and it's just
the one that does like 11,000% damage or something absurd. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was looking at that because he also has a Void build, and I think it's Arc build. I think he has one for all 3. And even though the Stasis build can put out, the Stasis build, the 1183% damage increase, the one that only does 636% damage. Oh, sorry. Shoot, where'd it go? I just lost. I'm staring at his channel now. All the videos look the same, and my brain just went wee.
Yeah, he does use similar thumbnails. That throws me off too.
Yeah, because there's that one, and because I was trying to remember now if it was Arc or if it was Solar, the other one he had. Anyway, he's got the multiple Titan builds with the glaive, and it's basically like if you want pure absolute damage, go with the Stasis one. If you want more survivability, go with the Void one, because you're just going to have more survivability because of the Void subclass and the Overshield and all that stuff.
What's it? The True King is the one I was talking about. Yeah, 636% damage. Yep.
Oh, that's it. Not the one that's 1,183% damage.
No, because that you have to use stasis for that, and I'm not about stasis on a Titan. Void, okay, maybe, but stasis, meh. That is a huge number though. That is a very, very big number. But yeah, Titan. Oh my God, Titan.
Yeah. So he did do this new Titan build will leave you speechless. 636% damage on Solar, and then the True King has emerged. Is the Void version of that, and then 1,183% damage increase. The Ice Glaive does some massive damage. So yeah, really, this is why we put Plunder the Booty's builds just in the channel all the time, because there's so much good stuff there. He just put out one 3 days ago for the best Void Warlock build in Destiny 2, Void Walker Perfected, which I have opened in a tab and haven't gotten to look at yet. And as always, the new top DPS weapon by a mile, Destiny 2 DPS Hunter build. So he has all the build for all the people. And that's beautiful.
That's the build I've been telling, not you guys, Peroty, but chat. That's the one I've been telling y'all I've been using for the last couple of weeks, right? Is with the submachine gun. Now that I can craft it, because I had one with 4 times the charm, and then I had a separate one that had the lock-on perk but I didn't have both on one weapon. So now that I can craft it, I'm gonna put that on there and I'm gonna show you all the true damage it can do. When it's working, you just see Nova Bombs pop like 5 pops a second. It's like, brrr, and you just watch that health bar get deleted, you know? And if it wasn't for these stupid mechanics Bungie has in place now, where when the boss gets to a certain mechanic, he just goes invincible all of a sudden. Imagine Peroty. Imagine if you could just decide to go invincible on a whim, right? Oh, I'm about to get in a car accident. Let me just be invulnerable.
It's not a whim. I have to
hate
take.
that mechanic.
I have to get to one of my health bar ticks. That's all.
Okay, still, I can't
agreed.
stand that mechanic, man. I remember look, if the boss doesn't have enough health to prevent us from one phasing him, that's his fault. Okay, but I hate immunities. I really, really, really do. Right?
Shouldn't have skipped like that.
But yeah, so absolutely 100%. It's more than the not the Telesto. What's the other fusion rifle? Other one everybody's using, Merciless. Thank you. It's far, far, far better than Merciless, because whenever we would do in the dungeon with the Merciless build, we were still having to 2 or 3 phase the boss. When I started this Hunter build, dude, it took half his health bar with me firing by myself, you know, and there was a Titan throwing hammers, which I don't know why Titans still throw hammers. Aren't all of y'all supposed to do the whole Superman slam thing? I thought. Now you got one guy chucking hammers at the boss, just taking it or whatever.
That's what you're trying to do.
I guess. And the Warlock with the well, obviously. But yeah, no, dude, it's crazy. So check it out. The best DPS build in Destiny is also the Volatile Nuke. You see these 2 videos right here? They're one and the same. All you do with the Volatile Nuke build is you add this machine gun with the perks that it tells you to add, and that's it. Pretty much. So same build, top DPS, and you also, like I was telling Peroty earlier, all the time you're invisible, all the time you have overshields. You get regenerating health in there somewhere when you get the grenade eating thing Warlocks can do. I forgot, damn it. Yeah, I mean, Hunters are just devastating this season, easily. Now, granted, the glaive damage apparently belongs to Titans and Warlocks, but outside of glaive damage, Hunter's the way to go. I mean, Hunter's always the way to go. Let's be honest with each other. But anyway, we gotta go. I gotta go. You gotta go. We all gotta go. Hit it, Peroty.
So before we go, I'm going to say a very special thank you to all the people that appreciate us enough to throw their hard-earned dollars, coin, yen, American currencies, British currencies, all the currencies in our direction, possibly from the Zep orbit, coming from Zep orbit down, trying to threaten us with a good time. Can't be done. Have you seen the T-Rex King dedicated AMs, Star Vortigé, and the Scarlet KMs dancing? They are the most incredible outer dance troupe. You have never seen anything better. Basically, Salt, he's throwing grenades. He's throwing them at Carver 2782, who's then throwing them at Golden God 1562, who's then throwing them at Wee Noble, who's then throwing them at Zombie Pops. It's grenades, all grenades, everywhere. And then Lord Master Chaos is over there, PP Pipe, and brand new, thank you for joining us, Dimwy. You get to get your name angled because that's part of the appeal here. Are all Deacon approved, and we appreciate each and every one of you learning to listen to us try to speak English words. The Night Demon makes sound so good, but live don't sound good. We don't speak good. Words are very hard. But we appreciate you hanging out with us each and every week, most of the time about Destiny. And if you found the show in the December time period and are going, why are they playing Trivial Pursuit? What is this show that my buddy said you should listen to? Or I searched Destiny 2 and I found this. We're back to Destiny Land now. You will get your Destiny content. That's really what we're here for. We enjoy having a fun time. When Bungie goes on holiday and doesn't do TWABs, kind of we do too, because we don't know what to do with ourselves. But now we're back doing Destiny, and we thank you for joining us. Your Titans, your Peroty, your Night Demon, your Hunter is no one who responds in real life. Your Lore Scribe, coming to us from the mists, is not ARF. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're on Twitter, as long as Twitter exists, at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, really everywhere, Two Titans and a Hunter. You know how a search box works. I believe in you. I trust you. You can make this all happen. Go pet your dogs. Go find us wherever you can find your podcasts. We're out there in all the places. If you're into streaming, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter, twitch.tv/no-one-responds-in-real-life. Hit the little buttons, subscribe. It will tell you when those lovely humans go live. And if you want to be a Patreon with all of our lovely other patrons, patrons. Words are very hard, like I said.
Patrons. Yep.
Patreon.com/TTAH, or if you just want to toss a couple shekels our way and go, Nitedemon, that was a great, wonderful, flawless, solo run you did of Shattered Throne that I'm excited to talk to him about next week. Coffee.com, ko-fy.com/2titanshunter. And until next week, go play the game, avoid the errors, and get something else fancy to put in your Revision 0 to make it even better. Maybe it'll make you coffee and pet your own dog. Respawn, give the people your deep, deep final thoughts.
Oh my
Perfect.
God, I was
Loved it.
I realized immediately it would get us not demonetized, but he'd have to edit it out. But for those that are live and still watching, Nighdemon's obviously going to edit this out. But if you feel the need,
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
do not do it into an oscillating fan. It's a life hack. Trust me, it's not going to work out well for you.
Little life hack that no one else should do.
That note, I'm going to go.